Welcome to our final best of three of the day. This is going to be between Yoru in the red Celestial and Percival. This time, this really is Percival in the blue Vanguard. Okay, awesome. And again, this series was played out last night in the Goblin Cluckfest 4. I think this was round of 16, maybe. All right, and we're playing out on Lost Hope here, and we've got a pretty standard opening from Yoru to just go ahead and make a collection array and then come and do some laser beam creeping. You know how you do. Get that laser beam going. And the dog's down here, or the dog did come down here for a scout and try to get a harass. And what do we got out of Percival? We got a barracks. Well, that's not surprising, and a dog's coming out of it. So it looks like we're going to have some dogs. We have a lancer already out, so that's going to be a lancer and two dogs for the opening. And we got laser beams over here, frying some slimes. Doesn't seem very cool to just fry a bunch of slimes with your laser beam, but that's what Celestials are all about, you know, and that's why they need to be wiped from the galaxy. And there we have our second collection array going down, and I'll admit, as an Infernal on this map, I like to be extra greedy because there's pretty much 4 bases that you can just take if you want. And Celestials are kind of the greedy faction. At least they can benefit a lot from this style of play, and boom, we got 3 bases. Although let's be clear that these collection arrays are really only about half saturation for the base. So this is about 1.5 bases, but it's still pretty fast to have 1.5 bases up and running, plus 1 extra prism. That's a little bit more than 1.5. So yeah, this is a real cool macro mechanic out of Celestial, and I'll be honest, it makes me kind of want to switch to Celestial some days. Don't tell the rest of my Infernal bros that I think that way. Okay, so I'm creeping out here. Lots of micro on these Shadow Mastiffs. As I normally mention, they're a little chaotic. I don't like to creep them. There's like this little part in my brain that says, please just make them really simple. Like, I remember a lot of the Warcraft 3 creeps. I don't really even remember, but I think the first creeps were just so simple. It was like stomping on a bug. Like, you'd run out and you just kind of squish a bug, and you're like, that's how I want to feel with my creeps. Those Shadow Mastiffs, I'm always losing themes to them and stuff. And even these slimes are kind of annoying because they give you that debuff when they die. Now you got negative armor and you're taking all this extra damage. At least now they give you this big purple aura so you can see it. For this most recent patch, that was not the case. Now what do we got coming out of Yoru? We've got Argents. That's a nice comp. And after going for that expand, we've got a pretty good force actually already out on the map. Meanwhile, it's dogs, hogs, and a lancer out of Percival. And down here, creeping the energy camp all the way on Yoru's side of the map. Of course, energy camps are very popular for your Celestial players. Because a lot of their units, in particular the Argents, do well when they got energy and boosted energy regen. These Argents go into soak in some speedy juices and some overcharged. Is that what that's called? Overcharged? Surged. Surge. You surge your buildings. You overcharge your mobs and you surge your buildings. So surged buildings will provide a bonus to their production speed in the case of these creation chambers, and each building has a special bonus that happens when surged. For instance, your Guardian Nexus, which might be used for upgrades, will, I believe, go with faster upgrades. And each of your buildings also have special bonuses that you give. I think Guardian Nexus creates an armor aura around it that gives more armor to the buildings in the area, I think, not necessarily the units. So if you are a Celestial, go check those things out, learn a little bit more about them, learn when should you be surging and not. The thing about a surge building is it takes more power, but then you don't need to create another creation chamber to get additional speed of your production. So I definitely think there's an interesting trade-off there that as this game gets more mature, we're going to figure out what are the best ways. You know, when do we surge? When do you not surge? That kind of stuff. Okay, so now we get a little bit of engagement here. This this Argent Ball coming and at least chasing away Percival's little biomass. That was interesting. They were sieged up there. I wonder what they were sieged up for. As this Argent Ball is saying, okay, I want to push into this mass a little bit. Some Krees, more Argents, getting a little bit, wouldn't call it a surround, but sort of pressure of pushing these units into each other. And even though the Hedgehogs are speedier, these slower moving Argents are chasing them all the way back to the door of Yoru. And Percival is happy to say, I'm just going to go up the map, snipes a couple of power banks on the way. That's sort of cool. Although I think he's going to be out of luck here. There's nowhere else to run. Once you're down this route, that's it. There you go. Now, that is, of course, if Yoru micros well enough to not let these Hedgehogs get away. They're trying to run away, but they just cannot get away. And the Argents finally corner them. And there they go. What I do like here is I like the Cabal in this mix. That's this little round boy. The Cabal, particularly good against the Hedgehogs because it can cast that slow ability since the Hedgehogs are so fast. Now, Kree are also fast. Now, I'm not sure which ones are faster. It looks like Hedgehogs win that battle. Not to mention Kree are melee, so they got to get it right on top of the Hedgehogs. But here come the Argent big brothers to come and protect the Kree and chase those hogs back again. So this hog play, fill off one base for Percival. We saw this in a lot of the VVVs we just watched, a lot of one base hog play. But this is definitely going to be outproduced at some point by the 3 or 4 base that Yoru's on now. And we are seeing this ball of hogs now. While they were pushed back into Yoru's base, they're now getting pushed back into Percival's base. And yeah, this could be very problematic if once we're up this ramp. There's not some secret atlases or something up here that are gonna win the day. So at some point there's just gonna have to be a fight. We see a Purify going down on the ramp to power up some of those Argents, not to mention the Cabals. I don't see... Oh, there's a slow out of one of the Cabals. A couple slows. And this is just kiting all the way back into another dead end. Although it looks like there may have been just enough damage done by all that kiting to whittle this Argent ball down. And of course, Argents without power kind of suck. They shoot little water pistols, people say. And I believe that. So there's just not enough DPS coming out of these Argents, and unfortunately this attack force from Yoru does go down, and Percival is able to defend with this one base Hedgehog play. So that's pretty cool. But again, Yoru is out here on multiple base. Oh, I saw this on the minimap thinking it was a base. It's just a potential base. We got one base here, one base here. Okay, so we haven't been adding prisms to these bases, so we are still kind of on the 1.5 base. We haven't seen that economy really snowball yet for Yoru. So this might not be as bad for Percival as you might think. And of course, later expands out of Vanguard is not quite as bad. Again, I don't know all the reasons behind that. I've just heard that. From Vanguard players, you can delay your expansion quite a ways, especially if you have map control, taking out these camps, which Percival did for the beginning of the game. Again, also maybe something you can do even better on Lost Hope, because Lost Hope has so many creep camps, so much extra income you can actually get. What do we got here? Just a Kree, it looks like. Maybe moving across to capture a camp or something. And this little hog ball from Percival Again, still gaining in numbers while out on the map trying to creep. What a tough tree. Came over here, soloed this one, taking it out. Of course, probably using that evolution catalyst. That is one of the better top bar abilities out there, I'd say. In particular, it gets really good in the late game. If you're starting to mine out one of these maps, if you can capture creep camps, especially Luminite and Ethereum camps, you can keep yourself ahead of your opponent. And I will say I have lost to a number of Celestials that way as an Infernal without having that same ability. There we go. That was the Evolution Catalyst coming in and stealing a couple creeps from this nice Hedgehog ball. And now we see another force moving out for Yoru. This one has some sides added to it, which are kind of nice, other than these Hedgehogs do have that AA mode. I think what makes them kind of nice here is that with all the rest of the ground force here, you probably don't want to engage that mode on your Hedgehogs, or they're just going to melt to the rest of the army. So all of a sudden, those sides become actually a little bit of a counter to these Hogs. They can shoot down, but the Hogs can't shoot up without making themselves very vulnerable. We do see one Vulcan out on the map now. I never realized the Vulcan have these little tripod feet. That's kind of cool. I don't think I've seen a Vulcan walk so much as I've seen it mow down my fiends with that minigun there. Yeah. Alright, well, unfortunately he melted. Stood out front and did a tank's job, and that's about it. And now Yoru's attack force is right in here on top of Percival. It looks like they're focusing firing down this repair turret while the Kree and the Sais chase the Hedgehogs in the back. These Bobs up on front now. Getting a little bit mowed down by the Kree. Kree are pretty good against Bobs because they're light. And now a couple Kree going down. These Hedgehogs having to retreat all the way down into the third, where there looks like some, what are these Ethereum scrapyards? A scrapyard down there, no actual base yet. And these Hogs, we have the Argents going up into the main base. There is a Vulcan here with a shield, which is actually, well, the shield ends, but the shield just does so much, gets so much armor. It starts taking very little damage. Of course, there's a promote to keep it alive for an extra couple shots. But this is looking kind of bad. The Argent Ball has been, made pretty small. And those Hedgehogs still doing a lot of work with that micro. One Hedgehog down there as an AA to keep the sides back is a nice place to retreat to. But it looks like a few reinforcements may be coming in for Yoru as well, and yeah, it's still right up in the main. Now on top of these Bobs again. A couple Kree, unsure what to do, want to take out a Bob. But yeah, economic damage going down, and that's a GG from Percival. Alright, let's go into game 2. Okay, here we go. Game number 2 now on deck from our blue Vanguard here, Percival. Up against his opponent, the red Celestial Yoru, who took that first game with 2 pushes up into Percival's main with a nice little Argent Ball and some Cabals and some Kree there at the end as well. A couple sides as well. It's a nice little mixture. And let's see what Yoru's able to bring to the table in this match. And then also let's see if Percival's going to change his strategy, and if so, if that's going to be enough for Percival to force game 3. And we got a couple Bobs out on a mission. They're going to totally solo this camp. Oh no, doesn't look like it. My bad. They are just lumberjacks, actually. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. My name's Bob, and I'm heading across the map. And there's a dog doing a little scouting, and what we saw out of Yoru so far is a pretty standard opening with Creation Chamber. What are these little Bobs doing? They're like, oh, I hear you like bases, Yoru. How about I build my base right up inside your base? Now an Argent pops out and it's like, okay, can't let this sentry post. But what's coming with this? We got we got an Exo already out on the map. So this is an interesting little sentry post flak cannon rush. Another dog here. Again, I wonder if Percival knows, like, what is the right amount of workers? 2 seems like the right number. Flat cannon on the map. This, okay, I wasn't sure that was going to get down, and it did. And now we have 3 builders there, 3 Bobs, trying to get the health camp so that you can get a little, somewhere, refuge that you can retreat back to. 4 Bobs here, doing the Bob dance, and saying, hey, you like one flat cannon so much? How about I give you another one? Okay, that looked like a cancel, although I wasn't 100% sure there. Okay, here we go again with another one. These Argents really want to take it out. They can definitely DP. Okay, so that was an explosion. That looked like it was not a cancel to me. And this flat cannon has almost killed the creation chamber. And these Argents are trying to chase the one Exo back up into the main. And that creation chamber is done. Now we're going for a power bank for these Argents. And yeah, okay, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I really don't think he's going to be able to get another sentry post down because it only takes about 1 volley from the Argents to kill it. And where did that Exo go? That Exo, it looks like, managed to kill the Argent. Or I think there was an Argent that followed it. And is now very slowly doing damage. Now, okay, they've tried to move in. Hopefully with a critical match. I almost. Oh no, that was so close. I think pulling off just a little bit too soon. But there's a possibility for another chance because moving back into the healing juices. Trying to focus this one down before it gets up. All right. Interesting. Okay. Maybe a Sarvin's watch cleared out that Exo on the high ground. Okay. Again, still really good micro out of Yoru to try and push back this. But unfortunately, taking too much damage and not being able to get enough healing time in the healing camp or underneath the arc station. I wonder if moving the arc station forward or the arc ship forward might be a good idea. Now, just pushing in under the Exos. I don't know. There are a lot of Argent sacrifice in that. Although I don't know if there was any better move. Our Exo's dead now. Still only 6 Argents here. And another sentry post trying to go down. Very persistent from Percival. Nice moving around from Yoru to try and avoid the flat cannon. But again, another Argent dying. So many weak. Another Argent going down. This Exo from the back coming in. Trying to get pot shots off on the weak ones. And by the weak ones, I mean all of them. They're all pretty weak right now. Even more going down, heading into the healing juices, trying to move the stronger ones to the front. And I think there's another sentry post that might get down, and if a second sentry post gets down, I think this could be the end here. And there we go. We're on to a second flat cannon now. This creation chamber is about to go. And we're now getting attacks on the arc ship. And yeah, here we have an all-in basically from Yoru with 6 Argents stopping for a creep. It's like I said in an earlier game, it's just impossible to move across the map without being like, oh, there's some creeps there. Yeah, this whole base has almost disappeared. There's only 2 there. Oh, I really don't understand that move to the speed camp if that was not an all-in. Yeah, I'm not super sure. I mean, other than trying to get income, of course, I understand that part. But I don't really see, you know, you can't push them off this base. They can just build another sentry post now. Alright, so, okay, back to the speed camp. Are you going in to the base? And we have 2 flat cannons back home. So, yeah. Yeah. One, yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, very interesting. Let's go into that next game. Alright, this is the rubber match. This is game 3 in this best of 3 between Yoru here in our red Celestial. Always hard to find where their main building is when you're trying to introduce them. And then you've got Percival here in the blue Vanguard. The top right of Isle of Dread. Again, the new version of Isle of Dread that's got that a little more choke here, a little extra trees here, trees over here, and more Therium on the map. All in all, seem like good changes to me. And we've got a dog scouting out that the opening for Yoru is to get a collection array over here in these double Luminite. I never really liked this expansion pattern, even though it's tempting, because it's a little bit harder to defend. I think on the new map it's a little better, and in particular I think it's pretty good for Celestial, because Celestial still want to do this little trick here, and you can only do this trick if you expand to that double Luminite. I think instead, if you wanted to, you could do a similar trick over on the energy camp on the right if you expand it over to the right instead. So, Morph Core trying to finish off the last Shadow Mastiff before, I imagine, maybe becoming a collection array of its own. Capturing the speed camp. Oh, there's already another collection array up there, so maybe a creation chamber. Got another power bank. And yeah, there we go, our creation chamber going down. Okay, so double expand before creation for Yoru. And Percival is on a mech bay and producing a hog and a dog, and is on one base and has cleared the speed camp. Is off with 2 dogs and a lancer to try and take out this camp. Again, that might not look like enough, except that this camp is all bugged out and doesn't do enough damage. So, oops. So again, just doing the creeping, but we're on one base. We saw that from Percival before. One base. And let's see how it works from this game. Now we got an Argents coming out, so we did see Argents before from Yoru as well. And another creation chamber back home. Any tech, 3rd creation chamber. Nothing here. So it looks like we're going to be stuck on Argents for a minute, bit here, because I also don't see any Therium being gathered yet. So that could mean probably more Argents and macro play. Now, alright, we have a sentry post hiding in the forest. Not right up in your base like last time, but hiding out in the forest. Now, do we have something to go in that? Not yet. Now, here's something I think that's interesting, and I maybe don't want to foreshadow Percival's play too much, but I guess you could put that sword boy in there, but I don't think you can put a hedgehog inside one. And what might he put in there? Maybe he'll put a bob in there. Does he have a bob coming down? Oh, there's a bob right there. What am I talking about? And the bob can act as a forward. Oh, we got a dog in there. Nope, we got a bob in there as a forward repair base for this mech-based army, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Basically getting some of that defender's advantage while attacking, and of course, that's the purpose of a sentry post rush. That's the purpose of you know, proxy, is try and get some of that advantage you normally get at home while you're up in front. So this is working well for these hogs, but the dogs unfortunately got focused down. The lance is so close to death that, yeah, it's probably just about to die. But so far the hogs have stayed alive, and the hogs are getting some good damage now, and dealing some or killing some of these Argents, and getting promoted as a result. We already got one at elite status. Is that the top one? No, champion status. Again, when you get to that champion status, you get an extra bonus. I'm not really sure what the bonus is for a champion hedgehog. Does it tell us? Oh, it boosts to damage, boosts to range, boosts to movement speed, it looks like. And nice little sort of harass and micro coming out of Percival here. Very much like that earlier game with the turret rush last game, I should say, where able to just sort of whittle away at the army with the pressure, as well as whittle away at the production, killing one of those creation chambers, sorry. Trying to call it a collection array. And again, more artists going down. I think part of what Yoru really needs here is, if Yoru wants to do better against these hogs, is to try and keep microing those units well, take those weak units and pull them back. And I also think it would be useful to have an arc ship out here, healing units. Where is the arc ship right now? I don't see it. Did the arc ship go down? I don't recall that. In any case, a lot of weak Argents here and a lot of full hedgehogs with some dogs just tanking. This is not looking really good for Yoru. Another power bank going down. The speed camp refreshed, which means no longer any passive speed bonus for Yoru. And of course now this income boost to Percival's definitely not going to be in Yoru's favor either. And especially if Percival gets this camp, he will be able to camp out in it, get that speed boost. That's what we're seeing here. And be even faster against these Argents and Cabal. Now there are Cabal putting a bunch of slows down. Look how fast they are still with the slow on them. That's really unfortunate. But these Argents are just hoping they can recapture this camp so they can regain that benefit. That's why they're standing here and fighting. They're saying, I have to fight here. And yeah, Percival does not. So Percival can retreat back and retake or repair back at his repair-o-matic, they're called. Okay, we have 8 hogs over here now. That's looking pretty bad. What's this? A little scanner. I don't know what the scanner's goal is. Maybe get some more income with an evolution catalyst. That's my best guess. And Percival keeping these hogs alive is just so good for his game right now. Every time he pulls back his hogs and repairs them, it's been free damage that he's been getting on these Argents and on these buildings. And now these hogs, not all of them, a small group of them decide, let's go in there. And are they going to siege up? Are they going to siege up? No, they just stop the mining and run away. That, of course, I think he knew that. That's why he left a couple back. They were probably getting repaired. But if you just run everything away, those Argents might be able to come across and take out your repair-o-matic. We now have a Vulcan added. I think that's interesting. Again, heading back to the repair-o-matic. Look how quickly it heals them back up. And again, nice little harass, nice little micro to move back and forth. Those Argents are all fully powered, but they just, or most of them are. If they get a couple good shots off, they can probably kill some of these hogs. Oh, nice. Nice push forward, but yeah, just not enough. And again, pulling back to the Repair-O-Matic. I only see 7 there. Oh, because a few went in to harass some more. I thought maybe one had got lost. We have 2 at champion status, 2 more it looks like at elite status, and a couple more just veterans, and we saw 1 hedgehog go down there. Maybe another one went down there. So Yoru is just getting a little bit of traction here, maybe able to parlay that into a little bit of a pushback, maybe able to push Percival off this position of the map. But without that, that's pretty much going to be over. What do we see here? Oh no, there's a Hornet in here as well. This is terrible. Hornets, great against taking out the prisms, but I really see this as being an attempt to come and take out this array. So keep your eye on the mini-map there as this battle keeps going. A lot of units out of Yoru now. This might be enough to push back. That Vulcan going down. These hedgehogs trying to keep them away from the Repair-O-Matic, but now they're right on top of the Repair-O-Matic. Going for more hedgehogs. Okay. Pretty effective. There's a sky mine, but these hornets, I guess, couldn't find it. Scanner coming back home. Again, very interesting harass out of Percival here. Another Kree going down. I like these Kree with the roll up on top. They're pushing them back. Now you need to focus fire the repair. Yeah, get it. Yeah, now there's no healing. Now you can actually make some headway on these hedgehogs that have been causing so much trouble for so long. And these hedgehogs, as we see, are forced back. They have to go back. What's going on here? Mines. Okay. Hedgehogs go back. We got 1 sentinel now with them. Hornets. This is a nasty, nasty little composition out of Percival. There's that. I'm like, where has this arc ship been the whole time? How come I could not see it? Oh, on the mini map it was covered by the Therium thing. That's terrible. I need to fix all this up. Oh, forgive me for whining. I know we're in early access. Let me back that up. We're in early access. This is a great game, and everything they put into that last patch, I was so happy about. The graphics update, great. I didn't even care about that, but beautiful. All the balance stuff, I thought every single thing they did to balance, I thought was pretty much the right thing to do. A couple of them, I'm like, maybe they'll tweak it a little bit and it'll be a little better in the future, but all I get out of this patching is that Frost Giant listens to us, and Frost Giant is doing their best to make the best possible game for us, and I'm optimistic that's where we're gonna get. I'm so excited for next year at 1.0. This harass is just devastating. These hedgehogs just do not let go. Although they're in siege mode, they're trapped in the back there. They kind of almost surrounded themselves. And wow, that's amazing from Yoru to just get a nice wipe on these hogs. Wow. That's crazy. Now, I know we've been focused on this side of the map. What has been going on with those hogs? We got another base out here. We got another base out here. We got a machine lab. We got more racks. We got mech bays. We know we got a hangar in the back for those hornets. And we've got this interesting transition. We got sentinels. That's what these bad boys are called, right? Sentinels. They're like a flying caster, kind of like maybe like a Raven unit from StarCraft. They got a couple cool abilities. One of them is like this stasis pod. I think they can speed you up. And maybe something else. I can't remember. Cool little support unit, support caster. We got these Vulcans, which we know are the big old mech units. I like those little tripod feet I hadn't noticed until today. I think that's cool. And just more hogs. More hogs. I wonder what the Sentinel... I hear the Sentinels, you see them being used for that stasis ability, right? So those guys can't do anything. I wonder if they're also being used for the speed ability to get speed boosts on the hogs. Alright, taking out this creep, but I see a little army moving across the map here on the mini-map, and that is Argents and Kree. Not exactly your standard 14-minute army, but after all that harass that Yoru's face, you know, this is a pretty good army. And moving up, wait, see, hey, there's defenses there. Oh no, there's hogs behind me, and there's defenses. Oh no, I'm kind of sandwiched. I guess I'm committed. I'll move in. A couple stasis is going down. Moving back, trying to take out a hornet. Trying to focus fire. Now, if your units get stasis like that, you can shoot them and the stasis will die and they come out of stasis. Everyone should be reminded of that. But, oh no. More stasis. These other guys come back to life. They decide, let's just walk through this Vulcan fire and get exploded. And this ball trying to chase the hedgehogs back. I'm not really sure that's the best idea when you have Vulcans or something else you can focus on. But it looks like Yoru's decided, nah, let's get back home. This composition was not quite good enough to push across. And now having to run all the way back to his side of the map, being chased by these annoying hedgehogs, murdering Argent after Argent on the way home. A couple of... oh no, oh no, and here we go with the AoE. Oh, I like that stasis. Oh, getting out in just in time on these sides. Okay, I kind of thought there would be more damage out of them, but I think it's because sides are heavy and they do bonus damage versus light. Okay, now it is Percival attacking into Defender's advantage, deciding maybe I needed to pull back a bit. Oh no, that Vulcan just doing so much damage there. Those Kree going down, and now it's just the hedgehogs and this Vulcan versus well, only a few sides. And now we see going for another array and siege up, and bye collection array. Okay, what about over here? There's an arc ship, or arc station I should say. Nope, leaving. There's still mine out there. Okay. And another... ooh, nice stasis on the side with some anti-air going off. I like how the priority of that anti-air does not prioritize the stasis one. That's good. I guess if you attack it, it releases the stasis. So that might be... you know, I know that Celestial also has a stasis-like ability, and I think I get them confused. And this one, if you attack it, they get released. And we've got sieged up anti-air units right here in the main, which of course is great against these sides, but it's also great against this arc station. And there's not a lot of static D behind there, and we're already on red power, so that is a GG out of Yoru. Ending this best of 3 between Yoru and Percival